Implicit Bias back on the air. We are sipping whiskey. We are solving the problems of the world. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We are, if you are on the video side, obviously not in the normal Mr. Lester's TSPL. We are in the real Mr. Lester's TSPL. We're in the cigar lounge at Mr. Lester Steakhouse at Cypress Bayou Casino. If you're on the radio side and you're listening, whether it's New Orleans, whether it's Monroe, whether it is, Vidalia, whether it's here in Lafayette, go find our socials, because guess what? We are going to still be giving away entries to Winner Implicit Dinner. November 16th, you can join the crew. We're not doing a show. We're just having a party, not a Diddy party, a regular party here at Cypress Bayou Casino. We're going to provide dinner for you. We're going to provide drinks. We're going to provide your hotel room for the night. Don't thank us. Thank Mr. Lester, because he's the man. Yeah, go ahead, Renee.
Can I get a witness?
We got it. Yes. It only took him one segment to get it right. That is Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist, Renee Girard. He's with us here in the TSPL South. We have Jonathan Broussard of Industrial Fabrication Services. We have Grant Galatas, otherwise known as K&B from Kennebra, also the purple and white of the original K&B where he and I grew up. He is from William S. Nacol Jewelers. At the table, he didn't set up a camera because he doesn't like being on camera. We have Aaron David, from now on known, from henceforth, he will be known as Tug, because that apparently is his nickname.
The reason why he's not on camera, his personality is too big to fit in the camera.
Yes, his personality is... Then again, Renee, I don't know. We fit your ego in the camera, so... I'm kidding. Renee does not have an ego like that. It was a fun shot we had to take. And,
I missed my bell.
Yeah, Grant's like, I missed my bell.
Uh-oh, here we go.
There we go. Oh, we have food as we get ready to rate this Eagle Rare. So Chef Willie is bringing us food here, and we're going to pass this around. Oh, he's going to put it in my hand, and I'm going to need a fork that I'm going to have to grab in a second. So this is the appetizer. Chef, what's the risotto again? Pumpkin, yes. So this is just what looks to be an absolutely deliciously seared scallop over a pumpkin risotto with a boursin sauce, Chef? Yep, I seem to remember that correctly. This is the appetizer that we're about to pass around. But guess what? No one's getting it until I get a fork. Anyway, very quickly, I'm going to grab it in a second. We're going to start rating this Eagle Rare on the Morse Whiskey rating code, and we're not going to play What Would You Pay, because we talked about what this bottle really should be worth. What we are going to do is we are going to play what is the every pour price this month at Mr. Lester's. We're going to take a guess at what every pour is going to run at Mr. Lester's Steakhouse in the month of November while I get a fork. So, Renee, let's start with you. What would you pay, and where do you rate this bottle of Eagle Rare?
It's definitely a green. I do like this whiskey. It's a very good whiskey. And because the way they do things at Mr. Lester's, they do crazy prices on a lot of their pours. I'm going to put it at a $5 pour.
A $5 pour. So I have a fork. So this is about to start making its way around. And for those who don't know the Morse Whiskey rating code, this is the Morse Whiskey rating code. Red, I wouldn't drink it even if it was free. Yellow, only if it was free. Green, I would buy it. Blue, I would seek this out. So, Jonathan, while I try this scallop, where do you rate this on the Morse Whiskey rating code? And what do you think is going to be the price per pour for any bourbon whiskey at Mr. Lester Steakhouse during the month of November?
If I can concentrate while you dig into that appetizer, I would give this a green. It's definitely a green.
Okay.
I'm going to say $10 for a pour all month long.
I'm not saying you're right, but oh my goodness. That scallop, it went straight to plaid. Yeah. It is absolutely delicious. It is seared and cooked perfectly. The risotto is just outstanding, and I wouldn't have thought a pumpkin risotto was something that I would really dig into. It's fantastic.
Pumpkin's fitting for October, right?
It is. It's very fitting for October. Okay, so Renee, you have the Eagle Rare at a green?
At a green at $5.
No, not at $5 a pour. This pour is not available here at Mr. Lester's, but all their pours are a price. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
saying-
So, well, I thought it was
nope.
all the bourbons.
Any
you're saying.
bourbon pour that's available here at Mr. Lester's, you have it at $5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you have it at 10 and you have it also at a green. Grant, where do you rate this Eagle Rare?
Let's see. Green, $12. Let me eat.
All right. So he rates it at a green, $12, and he wants to eat. Implicit bias pledge, better off dead. What do you think?
Solid green.
Solid green.
$8.
$8. Renee, you know what I need? I need that tambourine to go nuts because we have an exact on the nose price for any bourbon whiskey pour at Mr. Lester Steakhouse during the month of November. Go ahead.
Can I get a witness?
All right. The What Would You Pay Championship Belt Chain. Now presented by Box Drop of Lafayette. Mike Trammell, member of the OG crew, back with Implicit Bias, goes to Jonathan Broussard. $10. Any bourbon whiskey pour, $10 at Mr. Lester's during the month of November. So, Jonathan, you get to grab the chain and you get to wear it.
And the reason why, Mike came back is because that chain's so heavy, you need a mattress to lay on it because it just weighs a ton.
You do. We are in the process of actually redesigning the What Would You Pay Championship Belt Chain, but Jonathan's going to wear it for the rest of the show as we dive into solving the problems of the world and realizing that, you know what? You don't have to like the game, but you do have to respect it. So you heard the monologue. You heard that, yes, I don't like leftists. I don't like people who cheat in elections. And guess what? If you are a conservative and you're cheating, we don't like you either. We don't like anybody who cheats. We want everything to be on the up and up. But it just seems like all the votes that happen to come in usually seem to go one way. When's the last time that someone found 30,000 ballots in the trunk of a car 2 days after an election and they were all Republican votes? I'm waiting. Never. Right? Well, got to respect the game in Pennsylvania. Polk County and Luzerne County, Pennsylvania. Now, this is the best part because we were told cheating doesn't happen, right? We were told there's no election fraud. There's not enough for it to matter. Doesn't happen. The Luzerne County DA actually gave the press conference. Please don't believe us. Please don't. Please do not believe us. Go look this up. The Luzerne County District Attorney in a press conference came out and said, yeah, we got a report after we received 2,500 ballots that all came from the same address, that there might be some election fraud. So we investigated, and guess what? They all had the exact same signature. I mean, this is like full-on CNC Music Factory, things that make you go, right? I mean, Grant, does this surprise you at all?
No. And I was kind of hoping this would happen too, because after all of the ruckus last year and, for the last election cycle, I was really hoping that there would be eagle eyes on all of this stuff and that people would be more cognizant of this sort of thing happening. Because it seemed like after the last election cycle, there was so many accusations, but so little proof, so little witnesses. For this to come out immediately like this, and the thing that just blows me away is they say they came in like the day that it was the deadline.
It was the day of the deadline for them to receive the ballots.
And what that tells me is that somebody is sitting there going, look, just throw them in at the last second. Nobody's going to want to go through them. Nobody's going to want to look through 2,500 of them, and they'll just pass them in. Well, so it's a very organized effort. I mean, you got to give it to whoever this piece of garbage is or this group or whatever they're doing. They're actually very meticulous and very scheming about it.
Yeah, but you'd sent out our homework assignments that there was a registration thing
Yeah.
These aren't. You're talking about ballots or actually
So
voter
they're-
registrations.
So it is
Voter
registrations. It is
okay.
registrations.
And I looked at some of those sources that you sent out, and it's X, and I'm like, I don't know if this guy's trustworthy or not. So I did what you said. I went and researched it, and guess what I found?
What'd you find?
NPR has a report 5 days ago about this very topic.
So wait a minute, Renee, you mean the bastion of conservative media, NPR,
Yeah.
National Public Radio,
Yes,
is actually reporting
they
this?
actually and I mean the majors didn't, but NPR has a report on that 2,500 ballot or registrations that were dropped that they're having a hard time vetting.
And let's be honest, you're not submitting a registration to do nothing with it.
No.
Why are you submitting the registration?
Yes.
So you can do what? Create more
Well,
voters.
I mean, basically, it's almost like an identity theft thing because you dump these registrations. It's fictitious names. It's fictitious addresses. Fictitious. I don't know what Pennsylvania what's required to register, but I mean, because every state does different things. But I mean, you're creating fictitious IDs. Like it could be like in New Orleans, dead people voting, but you're getting access to ballots, either mail in or otherwise.
Here's one of the really interesting parts of that story, and I'm glad you brought this up. Some of the registrations were completely fraudulent.
Yeah.
Some of the registrations were complete identity theft. It was the right driver's license number. It was the right address. It was the right name. It was the right person. But the signature belonged to whoever it was at that one address, filling them all out.
Well, and that was one of the things that in the NPR report is that the registrar noticed that the handwritings were the same on multiple ballots.
That's what he's saying.
And that's
So
what
that's
that's
forgery.
what brought it to their attention.
Yeah, so many different charges you could levy on this. I mean, that's forgery as well.
It
I mean,
is-
it's identity theft, forgery.
It's forgery,
fraud.
it's
I mean,
fraud, it's
yeah.
identity theft. I
Pack
mean,
it on.
there's, you name it, it's there. And one of the things that I love is we keep getting mean tweets that say, if you are cheating on elections, people are watching, you will be caught and you will go to jail.
Thank
And you
goodness.
know what else I'm told we'll go to jail for? Ignoring the finger from Walker in the corner. Who's over there? Walker, you like that scallop?
That's delicious. Oh my God.
That was amazing.
This is radio, like you have to actually say something and you're not on camera so no one can see you.
That was amazing.
That's what I thought.
Agreed.
What else is amazing is that we'll be back with the final segment of this week's episode of Hour 1 of Implicit Bias right after this break.